Retail can be harder than it needs to be, though. I have a story that I'll tell from way back in the 1900s when I was working for a specialty retail store in the footwear industry. It was my first leadership role. I had gotten the job because I guess I pushed the vacuum better and faster than anybody else, and I could straighten shoes better and faster than anybody else. Mostly just because I was young, had a lot of energy, I guess. I had moved my way up from key holder to assistant manager to manager. Now I was leading a multi-million-dollar store just outside of Los Angeles. And on one Monday morning following a really, really chaotic back to school weekend, I got an unannounced visit. And those that follow know that I'm not a big advocate of surprises. So I wasn't super stoked to have this senior VP in my location. He was incredibly gracious, even thankful and congratulatory on the sales volume that we put up over the weekend. I would say the visit was going extremely well, until which point that he spotted a piece of gum underneath the rack from distance. At this point, he became noticeably and visibly frustrated with something that I wasn't sure what it was just yet. And then as we dug in, he pointed at the piece of gum that was about 6 inches underneath the rack, about 5 feet down the aisle. And he was like, "What's going on here?" And so I told him, "Oh, there's some gum." And for my money, there was a lot bigger issues that were going on in the store at that point in time. But he pointed out that gum likely was not the result of a long, strong weekend in sales and heavy guest and customer traffic, but more likely an indication that standards were slipping, day in and day out standards, that we should be looking closer at that, because those end-to-end standards are there for the guest, for that most important customer who signs our check. And it was an incredible lesson to learn for somebody who was really, really, really young in their leadership career, really young in leadership in general, but certainly in retail leadership. And I would say, this particular leader was incredibly tough, but also super fair. And details mattered to him, and details matter in retail.